Hello, my name is Andrew Perry, and today I'm going to be making a video talking about um, some progress on a project for my CSE 341 Web Services class. And luckily, this video can be 5 to 8 minutes long. I know that some videos in the past have been really short, so I'm really grateful for the extra time. With that said, I'll try to keep it a little bit brief. So the point of this class is to build out and deploy and run an API, and in this case, it's an API for contacts. So hypothetical contacts, of course, not going to leak anyone's information, nothing like that. Um, so first, it had us um, go and make an account on MongoDB using their Atlas service. Then we made a cluster on there, then a database, and then stored some data on that database. And here we can see this one here. I have my project one database, and these are the contacts. You can also see it here. I also have it pulled up on the Compass client. So we have three contacts here: John, Andy, and Joanna. This is all unscripted, so I'm just gonna try to go fly by the seat of my pants here. And then for the part one requirements, we need to set up the database, import the data, complete the get API routes, and then deploy the app to render. Okay, so we have our database here on MongoDB on Atlas, and then we have to then build out all of our code and things. And here, I can show this later. This is the test file to make sure that it works. But here we have our code, and so first we have our connect.js, and so this establishes the MongoDB connection, and it's pulling information from our .env environment file, and you can see here that it's grayed out if you look closely. That's just how VS Code shows us that in this project, it's not going to be sent to Git as we push our changes and updates. And we can see that here in our git ignore, it excludes the node modules and environment file. And that's because that's where we're going to be storing our password for the actual database connection. So that's all good and secure there. Got to keep up good practice, even when you're just practicing, of course. So here's our route for the index, which is really, really simple. This is just here to make sure that it works. And if we go to render, where it's deployed, kind of skipping a step here, but we'll go back. We can click on the project and then click on the address, and then it takes a bit to load, but we'll wait for that. All right, and now that it's loaded, we can see that our page here just says hello world, not much to see. But of course, that takes us back to our routes here, and actually we have another JS file in our routes folder called contacts.js, and this is these are our contacts routes for our. This is how we're basically going to interact with our database. So first we have a route for just contacts here. And what this does is this connects to the database, MongoDB. It pulls the information. It basically, as far as I understand, parses it into a JSON format, and then it pushes that out. And so it returns some JSON data. So if we go here to our browser, /contacts, not two slashes, just one slash, we can see we have some JSON data. And you'll notice that this is the exact same data that's in our database, which is perfect because that means it works. Then you'll also notice if we go to our routes, we have another section here where it says if we add an ID at the end here, it will use that ID to search for that specific ID in the database. So we can copy just one of these entries. We'll copy John's ID. And if we go contacts slash, I'm trying to think, is it? Yeah, there it is. Slash ID. That will pull up only that one entry. So that's pretty useful, right? You can imagine if someone else is making a program where they need to access this stuff, not doing it manually by hand like I am, but using a program, you can see how this would be pretty easy to interface with. And then we can also test this out using our test.rest file, because we have the extension, I'm trying to remember what it's called, just REST server, REST client, there it is, by Huachao Mao. Hope I'm saying that correct. Thank you, Huachao. And here we can click our send request for all the contacts, and it shows us some metadata here in the header, I believe. Hopefully I'm not misunderstanding how this works. And then we have our specific ID there. All right, and I think that is right on time. So that's it for this video. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything. Yep, and we have our app deployed to render here. So this is actually where our web service is running, and then our database is running on Atlas. So we can connect to it from any computer, any client, and that will interface, that'll go to the web service, which will then connect to the database and get that data for us. So, all right, thank you so much for watching.